At Freed Marcroft, our experience and expertise is one thing and one thing only. We are not a general practice. We practice exclusively family law. And what that means is we're very good at it because all of our time and resources are dedicated to getting better at one thing, at hiring people who are good at one thing and keeping abreast of one thing, changes in family law. There's nothing wrong with the general practice. I think there are a lot of really great attorneys out there that have multiple practice areas, but at the end of the day, it's difficult to get really good at a whole bunch of things. And we've committed for the past over a decade now to get very good at one thing and one thing only. And we have a team of professionals who are actually passionate about this practice area. We attract people who want to work in this practice area, not just generally want to be in a law firm or practice law. They want to practice family law. And they are dedicated not just to being excellent advocates for their attorneys, or rather for their clients, and not just knowing the ins and outs of their practice area, but because they're genuinely passionate about it, they're also committed to continue ongoing learning because the laws change, precedents change, and something that may have been sort of convention a few years ago might not be now. And if you are not as passionate about what you do as all of the people that we are blessed to have in this firm, you might miss some changes, and that's not going to happen here because we only do one thing. And that's, I think, another reason why if you have a family law matter, you need to hire Freed Marcroft. At Freed Marcroft, we have very much a client-centered approach. What that means for us is we're clear that people come to us with a legal problem, and it's a legal problem that is related to family law. But we don't see our responsibility beginning or even ending with their legal problem. We see our responsibility as looking at our clients as a whole, as whole people who come to us with a past. They come to us in the present, but they also are looking to their future. And many times they can't really see the future because they just have this problem that, and for many of them, is the most difficult thing they've ever experienced in their lives. And while it's very much our responsibility to get them on the other side of that legal issue, it's also, from our perspective, very much our responsibility to focus on their lives after that. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. People come to us because they're unhappy with something that's happening in their lives. And if we just left them with, okay, we took the bad thing away and we don't spend any time worrying about and caring about and being committed to doing something about their future, then I think we've just really failed them in many ways and lost a tremendous opportunity to do some real good beyond just providing excellent legal services. I think it's our responsibility, because we're in the professional service industry and we work with people, humans. I think it's our responsibility to care about all of that. And for us, that is, again, another way that I think we differentiate ourselves, because it's also who we attract that wants to work here. It's other people who see the world that way, and family law attorneys who see their role that way and want to work in an environment that isn't just, here's your file, here's a name, go to court, take care of it, and we move on. We want to talk about what comes after, and we have an entire practice built around not just lawyers and legal professionals, but other people who are invested in not just the now, but the what's coming after this problem. And that, I think, I've never experienced that working as a client, and I don't think you're going to find that out there very often, where you're working with an attorney and you're getting sent books and being asked about, what do you want your future to look like? And I think that's our responsibility, and I think we do a very good job of it here at Freed Marcroft. So I think another way that Freed Marcroft is different from a lot of other law firms is the way that we start. I think so often when somebody has a legal issue and they reach out to a law firm, it kind of just right out of the gate starts with all the legal solutions and the legal strategy, and here's how we're going to address that. And that matters, and that is absolutely part of our approach to our matters and working with our clients. But it needs to start, from our perspective, with asking more questions about the person that's sitting in front of us, not just their problem that they're having, but who they are and how they got where they are, and more importantly, what they want their life to look like on the other side of this thing. And if we don't take the time to ask about what their goals are, then sometimes I think you can find yourself in the middle of a legal matter and realize that you've gone off in a direction that isn't important to the person whose life you're supposed to be helping. So we start our representation with what's called a goals and planning session, and it's exactly what it sounds like it is. We take the time to ask about what's going on in our clients' lives, how do they get where they are, and again, more importantly, where do they want to be? If we could wave a magic wand, what do you want your life to look like? Because it's not the same for everybody. The general facts of a situation can be relatively similar, but that doesn't mean that people want the same things. And if we don't take the time to ask what our clients want, then I think we're, again, missing a real opportunity to do really meaningful work for individuals, not just people with family law problems. And I think that's just another way that we endeavor to set ourselves apart from other family law attorneys in Connecticut. I would say candor is a very important word at Freed Marcroft, and we talk about it a lot. It's ingrained in our culture. We are committed to telling the truth, even when that is not what our clients want to hear. And to be honest, it frequently isn't what they want to hear. But we do a disservice to our practice area and to the clients who trust us with their lives and their families if we don't have the courage to tell them things that we know are going to upset them if they are true. And it can be easy to sort of plod along in a representation and let people hold on to outcomes they're hoping to achieve, or ways in which they think all of this works, when we know some of the things that they may be hoping for as outcomes are not just unrealistic, but in many cases just simply not possible, not even sometimes within the purview of the court that they're in. It's our job to tell them that. It's our job to be the people in their lives who have the courage to tell them the truth and stand for their future, because if we don't do that, then they're not going to get where they told us they wanted to go way back at the beginning at the Goals and Planning Conference. That means they don't like us sometimes. That means they are angry at us sometimes. That means sometimes their frustration with the process, which is frustrating, can be directed at us, and that's okay. It's our job to be honest. It's our job to tell them when they're being unrealistic. It's our job to say, I can't get that for you, which isn't the same as I won't fight for you. But there's a difference between advocacy and really standing for the goals that our clients articulate and the futures that they say they want. That's not the same as taking people's money and pretending you can accomplish something that you know you ultimately cannot. And so we approach our clients and the issues that they're facing with, we call it radical candor. It's not without compassion, it's not without empathy, but it's not our job to be liked, although we like to be liked. It's our job to tell the truth, and it's our job then to stand for the futures that they said they wanted, and be honest about how we get there, because I think that is very empowering. And that's not everybody's cup of tea. But the people that we love working with the most, who we talk about, years after we've wrapped up our work for them, are the people who are here for uncomfortable conversations and willing to be uncomfortable and willing to do the work that needs to be done so that they can have a different kind of life than the one they've been having that brought us to us in the first place.